Hi, I'm Mr. Huber, and in this video we're going to talk about exercise 31. We need to work out x and epsilon. Well, as you can see, it's in a semicircle. Everything happens in a semicircle. So let's introduce this line here. I'm going to introduce it in red. And let's label that A. As it's in a semicircle, we know that this must be a right angle, okay? In German, Thaleskreis. So every angle in a semicircle is a right angle. So now we can more or less work out A. So let's see what I mean by that. A squared plus x squared is 3x squared. Don't forget these brackets. So that's a squared is 9x squared minus x squared. So a squared is 8x squared. Now you take the square root. So it's the square root of 8x squared, which is the square root of 8 times x. Well, you could have a plus minus here in an equation, but because it's geometry, it has to be positive. Okay, so it's the square root of 8 times x. And you'll see how that helps later on. Well, first, now we can work out epsilon quite easily. Because look, we know tangent of epsilon is opposite over adjacent. So tangent of epsilon is opposite, which is the square root of 8 times x over 4x, because this is 3x plus x, it's 4x. So it's like that, you lose the x, so it's tangent of epsilon is the square root of 8 over 4. You can use the arctangent for this, the inverse tangent. So epsilon is tangent to the minus 1 square root, fraction, and then the square root of 8 divided by 4, like this. So let's write that up. Epsilon is arctangent of square root of 8 over 4, and epsilon is approximately equal to 35.26 degrees. Look, the only thing you needed is a ratio. You were able to work out in this triangle x squared plus a squared is equal to 3x squared. You were able to work out a in terms of x, yes. But then you have two terms in x. You have a ratio, and you can simplify the x, okay? And that's how we work out epsilon. But now, how do we work out x? Well, that's quite easy. Look, the radius of this semicircle is 1. So that means this length here is obviously 2. Now you know 4x squared, this, plus the square root of 8x squared, this, is equal to 2, because that's a right angle too. So you get 16x squared plus 8x squared is equal to, 2 to the 2, sorry. It's this squared plus this squared is this squared. 2 to the 2 is 4. So you get 24x squared is equal to 4. X squared is 4 divided by 24. 4 divided by 24, which is obviously 1 over 6. Then you take the square root. Again, you could write plus minus, but because it's geometry, it does not matter. So this is approximately equal to the square root of 1 over 6 is approximately equal to 0.41. As a quick recap, the only thing we did, we introduced the line a, then we worked out a in terms of x. Like that, we were able to work out epsilon because it's a ratio, the square root of x as square root of 8 times x over the square root of 4x. You lose the x, you have the ratio, you get 35.26 degrees. And then we used the fact that it's a right angle triangle again. So this squared plus this squared is 2 squared. And you have one equation in one unknown, and you can work out x. I hope it wasn't too difficult. See you on the next one.